Viruses are tiny germs made up of genetic material that cause familiar infectious diseases, such as the common cold. They also cause severe illnesses like AIDS, smallpox, Ebola, and the coronavirus.
Scientists think that there are, at any given moment, there's 10 to 31st power amount of viruses on our planet. So that's 10 with 31 zeros after it. And that's a lot of viruses. So viruses were first identified in the late 1800s and early 1900s. Since that time, we've found that there's millions of viruses on our planet. So viruses are actually the most common infection that humans experience. Viruses can weaken our immune systems and predispose us to other infections that we wouldn't get otherwise. It's difficult to kill a virus because it's not a living thing. They cannot survive on their own. They need a host cell.
Viruses invade living, normal cells and use those cells to multiply and produce other viruses, making them a serious threat, even in today's modern world.
So we don't have medications that are specifically to kill a virus because it is not considered a live microbe. So it's kind of difficult to target them. It's important to understand the difference between a virus and a bacteria because we have antibiotics to treat bacterial infections. We have antivirals that treat viral infections, but you can't use one for the other. Bacteria are living organisms, and we found the use of antibiotics a little less than a century ago. Antivirals are a little bit newer, and we're still refining them, and we only have antiviral medications for a few of the viral infections that exist.
One truly difficult aspect of a new virus forming is the lack of specimen available for testing. With no current treatment for the coronavirus pandemic, scientists are looking for ways to combat the virus on the surface before it enters the body.
One of the reasons antivirals are difficult is because if we want to kill the virus, we have to kill its host cell. So that makes it difficult to target that part. More important than treating the virus is avoiding getting it in the first place. And so that's why healthcare professionals are always encouraging people to wash their hands and sanitize commonly touched places like the doorknobs in the bathrooms to prevent the spread of the viruses from the beginning. So when there's a new strain of virus that we discover, we tend to panic as a public and we get nervous about the threat it has to our communities. But the good news is, in instances such as the coronavirus, the COVID-19 that we're concerned about at this time, is that we've seen similar viruses in the past, and they're all in the family of coronavirus. And we have known sterilants that are effective against coronaviruses on surfaces.
Pure Maintenance's dry fog system can destroy viruses on contact, stopping them in their tracks before they have a chance to spread.
The dry fog system is a patent technology that we use here at Pure Maintenance, where we fill up an entire facility with a 7.5 micron sized particle. By filling the whole home up with what we call InstaPure, it kills all mold, bacteria, and virus that's airborne on any surface, in the HVAC system, in any fabrics. And then the protectant will actually create a protection on those surfaces for up to 90 days from any mold, bacteria, or virus. InstaPure is an EPA registered cold sterilant, registered to kill coronavirus, H1N1, staph infection, mold, bacteria, polio, all the things that are really difficult to kill, really that people are worried about when they're wiping surfaces down. So we're doing a lot of treatments right now for coronavirus as a preventative measure, so that if coronavirus is introduced into the facility, as soon as that virus hits any surface, it's killed on contact.
Providing complete sterilization of indoor environments, including killing airborne pathogens and impurities, the fast-acting protectants can typically treat a building in one day.
The InstaPure is actually a hospital-grade sterilant. We create a vapor with our equipment. That vapor, we utilize a 7.5 micron particle. So what that means is we can fill the entire space of the building or the home with a fog that gets so thick that it's hard to see your hand in front of your face, yet nothing gets wet, it leaves no residue whatsoever. So that's going to sterilize the entire home. We switch over to a second formula right after that, and what we do with that is it's more of a relieving a protective coating or shield on every surface in the home or the facility. What this shield is made up of is a positive charged nitrogen molecule, and it has carbon stacked on top of it. These make little spikes on all of your surfaces. These spikes are important because all of your mold, viruses, bacteria, they all have a negative charge to them. And so they're attracted to the spikes. So what happens is if anybody touches a surface with a bacteria or virus, whatever, it's going to pull that into the spikes. The spikes pierce the outer membrane and it will just disrupt it and make it completely inept. As far as how long it lasts, the beauty of it is it doesn't off-gas. Like most antimicrobials, it's what we call a mechanical kill because the spikes are electrically charged. They're going to be like that for a long time.
In addition to viruses, treatment with Everpure can protect against mold and bacteria without releasing poisons into the air.
The products are EPA and FDA approved, so they're not going to make anybody sick. They're not going to be unhealthy for pets or people to re-inhabit the building afterwards. This is a perfect application for people who have compromised immune systems, people who are just worried about their own personal health. We do a lot of daycares, gyms, where people are touching a lot of surfaces and relying on each other to wipe them down afterwards, where we can come in using this technology and make sure everything is sterile and clean.